Let's go.
Yeah.
Season 3. Let's go. How are we looking, Chris?
I have no idea. Apparently,
Evening, everyone. How are we all? Can you, someone in the chat, just let us know that we are live and it is working.
Oh, I've just seen myself on my desktop. It looks terrible for me.
I was. I fixed that. Hey, we're live.
Yeah, there we go.
It?
Evening. Who's there? Kashagra. Evening. Darren. JJ. Points to points. FPL Depression. Ayush. Gary Smith. Chris Herman. Who's the blur? Oh, that's probably. I think Andy went a bit blurry there.
He did.
Yeah.
FPL Wilson. Andy the Golf Pro. Clean Sheet Wipeout. Jack Broker. Oh my God, there's so many people. Evening, everyone, and welcome back to ChampMan FPL for season 3.
Guys, great to have you.
What are we here for?
Yeah, guys, great to have you. Like, at the end of season 2, we were all burnt out. We were all knackered and thought, can we go again? Can we do it? And here we are again for season 3. And we thought we'd have to do a trilogy, right? Everything is good if it's a trilogy, right? So after debate about whether we do a new patch or continue the save, I think that we came up with the fact we're going to do one more on this save as a trilogy and carry it on. And I think that's what the majority of people wanted. And it was a close call. I think a lot of people wanted to start again a new patch. But the majority wanted to carry on the save for season 3. So that's what we did. And that's why we're here. We love all you guys. We love all the comments. It's great to see so many regular people back in the chat. And I can't wait to get started again. I've really got the buzz the last couple of weeks. I don't know how you feel, Chris and Rob, but
yeah,
I feel like ready and excited.
Yeah, already starting to play around with it. And for me, that I definitely think my camera's just switched off. There we go.
I mean, it's just this OBS system. I mean, yeah, this is not good.
Well, we gave Andy the reins to actually run the stream tonight, and so you can kind of see No, this is all the standard technical issues that we get. But no, definitely, Andy. I think like you say, we were pretty done after the end of last season, but certainly just even starting to play around with the logo and the graphic again suddenly started, bringing up a lot of memories from last season, and really looking forward to it, and excited to share what we've got so far with you guys.
So it's been a busy few weeks. I mean, we announced it 10 days ago now. Was it about 10 days ago? We stuck the profile picture up.
Thursday.
Days blur into one. Like,
but I think it was about 6 weeks ago. We got hold of the magic save file and started cracking on, and it's been a bit of a slog and a bit of a process, but we've been excited. We've sort of had a new lease of life as we've been doing it, just with reliving some old memories whilst building the game, and so it's been fun. Well, first things first, should we have an introduction to season 3, and with that, I'm going to hand you over to Andy, who's going to give us a little bit of a history lesson on Championship Manager and ChampMan FPL and our particular save.
A little bit of history if I can. So welcome if you're new to the game. Great to have you here. Hopefully you've seen the hype around the game and how much fun it's going to be. We started at the start of lockdown, the first lockdown. So what's that, 18 months ago, over 18 months ago now. It's a game where it just came from nothing, came from a tweet from Dave Perrin's Simple Goal. He was like, okay, I'm going to switch off Twitter for a bit unless anyone wants to run a fantasy game based on Championship Manager 0102. And I was like, yes, that can work. So I tweeted him back. And now we're here, season 3. after 2 seasons of pure joy during lockdown. And it's an FPL based game based on Championship Manager 0102. So like FPL, you have the same amount of budget. You have £100 million to spend on players that you pick in your team to get points, like a normal FPL game week. Season 1. What would you say is different between season 1 and season 2?
It didn't start on a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I mean, they were amazing, but
we missed the
I can't even.
spreadsheets, guys.
I
Come
can't
on.
even fathom the amount of work that. I mean, hats off really to James Alapran for the work he did with producing all of those spreadsheets in season 1. I've been doing a bit of work with him on some planners, which we have thousands of them out there in the community, and that took I was able to see sort of some of the things that James had designed to be able to pull through. We've lost Andy.
We have lost Andy.
We've lost him completely.
I'm it's like I'm looking at him. I'm in his screen at the moment. He's literally gone.
Just disappeared. He said his piece, and now he's
That is interesting.
Either that or
that was it. That was it. In fairness, we didn't give him any more of a brief. He is Andy Martin. His time is passed.
It's very valuable. It's Saturday evening. He's got people to places to go, people to see, porridge to eat, robes to dress in. Yeah, it's like this is peak time for Andy Martin. Right. Well, whilst we wait for
carry on.
Andy to come back. So tonight, what we're going to do, so we've just done a little introduction into the game. Then we've got we're going to just introduce who's on the team this year. Obviously, the team is slightly different this year. Then we're going to talk through what's new. What changes are happening for season 3, because there is quite a few tweaks and adjustments and a few big changes. And then finally, we're going to give you the game week 1 date. We won't give you the time of the deadline because we're not 100% sure yet on the exact kickoff times of the game weeks. But we'll give you the game week 1 date. Plus, we will give you the price of an England international that plays in Manchester.
Big news. 2 secs. Andy's joined us. The stream can't see it, but I can. So I'm going to have to move between computers, which will knock my camera off.
So for a minute, I'm going to be
the
only person everyone's seeing.
For like 2 seconds. Hang on.
For 2 seconds. I think they can hear you. Oh no, they can't hear you. So anyway, whilst they do that, let's have a look. And at the end, we will do a bit of a question time. We will try and answer any questions. We will not give you all of the prices. We'll give you just the one price. We'll answer what questions we can answer right now. We will try and answer all of them. There'll be some questions, we just can't answer because we either don't know the answer yet or we have sworn ourselves to secrecy. Panda getting the irons treatment. When Mode used to just disappear last season. I'm just going to sit here. I've got my whiskey, so if I neck a few of these, I'll just be able to talk to myself anyway. So I'll just go into my split personality. Suddenly, Panda's volume has gone up when the others went. That's better. Ooh.
Don't tell us this.
So yeah, feel free to. I mean, does anyone want to know? Whilst we wait for them, does anyone in the chat want to know we can ask the questions. Yeah, I'm glad it's good to see some new names around in the chat. What whiskey is it? What whiskey is it? It's a Balvenie, I think. I've got a few bottles. I think I picked the Balvenie this evening. Panda already said more than Irons ever did when left on his own. Who got promoted? Here we go. That's a relevant question. Right, the 3 clubs that got promoted are Coventry City, Bradford City, and or are they Bradford Town? Bradford, and who was the other one? Norwich. Delia Smith's Norwich.
We should all be here. Andy, can you speak?
I can try and speak. Am I back? Yeah.
You're back. We're
Okay.
all back.
we're all here.
Seamless.
Rob, that's
Seamless. There
Rob,
we go.
brilliant work, mate. Well done. You held it all
Yeah.
together perfectly. I was listening along,
I mean,
and
yeah,
anchor job
I
for
mean,
you, mate. Anchor
just-
job.
Yeah, there we go. Transfer news, Gary. Transfer news. You may or may not have seen in the last few days that in the last week, there's been transfers just gradually being announced. At the moment, every day currently is just a separate day through the sim, and we're just releasing that transfer news. A lot of people would have seen most of it on the end of season stream. But yeah, we'll just be going through it in chronological order, tweeting it out every day. I think we're at like the 17th of June or something like that, maybe even later than that. I think we're almost into July now. So yeah, just keep an eye out. That all the transfer tweets are generally going out about 9 o'clock in the morning from the main account. So Coventry, Bradford, and Norwich. Balvenie signed for Leeds. No. Where's the robe and the porridge, Andy? Where's your robe and porridge?
This is just a welcome get to know you stream, okay? I mean, I don't. There's gonna be new people in here, and if they're gonna turn up and see me in a robe, some porridge, getting my chest hair out, it's gonna be too much the first stream. Want to keep it chilled, relaxed, welcome people in, and then gradually through the season, they'll see some robe, they'll see some porridge, they'll see some chest hair.
Are these synonyms for something else?
You're committing a lot really early on here, Andy. Like,
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Cool. We're still 2 years away from Delia's and famous outburst at half time. We might be 2 years away in real life. I can imagine there may be an infamous outburst at some point this season, just for shits and giggles, because Norwich are there. So
I mean,
it might have to happen.
I mean, for me, for Norwich to get up is an achievement. They are terrible in this game, and normally relegated first season. So in the third season, to get them promoted into the Premier League is it's pretty good. And I've got to have them favourites to go down. I think Norwich. They shouldn't be in this division, but we'll see how they get.
They shouldn't be there. Well, shouldn't we say that? Or didn't we say that in real life as well?
Yeah,
They
so
shouldn't just be there.
Shouldn't be there at all.
Right. So we've introduced it. We've had a few questions about the game so far. Right. Next up, right. Meet the team. Who's in the team this season? Well, the guy next to me. I don't know which way he is on my screen. He's either that side or that side. Yeah. So Andy, the founding one of the founding members, is still with us on the team. And you'll be generally leading the comms through the day-to-day comms through Twitter, as you have done, and obviously assisting where needed in streams and all sorts, giving your wisdom and knowledge towards the game.
There's hesitation there, Rob. Like, you had to think.
I was trying to find the right words to say.
Something not as strong as wisdom, but below
I still
wisdom.
couldn't find them. I couldn't find the right words. And then obviously this man all the way over there, or he's all the way over there. That's Chris, or FPL captain, who is behind all of the graphics and everything that you see here tonight, and we'll be heading up on the Matchday Experience. Then between him and myself, we'll be running the preview streams. Chris is also the keeper of the, well, we both are this, I think, this season, but yeah, you'll be one of the keepers of the Holy Grail, which is that that magic sim file.
Yeah, so it will just be Rob or myself who'll be doing the sim, essentially. Yeah, so Andy won't have it, none of the other guys in the team will have it, and yeah, it's going to be the first time for me anyway, not for actually playing the game.
Yeah,
well,
I think
we'll have a dead team for sure.
Yeah,
I think it's
so
important.
we'll have. Oh, go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say. I think it's important to mention as well that one of you guys will have access to the file. The rest of the team will have access to the file later in the week, so we'll have to lock in their teams early. But we still want to play. Like a lot of the rest of the team will want to play. But like last season, we had an earlier deadline where we don't know the file until our teams are locked, effectively, which I think was a Tuesday at 6 p.m, where the normal deadline would be 6:30 on the Thursday for everyone else playing.
Yeah.
But it's just so that when we get access to the file and the results, that we can do our work between Tuesday and Thursday if necessary. So hopefully I won't have to look at the file, so I can enjoy it live on a Thursday. But because we've got access to tweet deck and other stuff, we don't want to slip and then reveal and have the same deadline as you guys. So basically, whoever's in charge of the file will keep it secret until the team's deadline is done.
Yeah. And yeah, obviously, Chris, as you said, will be putting in a zombie team. I think when we get round to like one of the final preview streams, I think we'll do a big reveal of our zombie teams, and yeah, people can judge what they like, and we might set up a little zombie league and yeah, see what's going on. Who else is on the team? I'm on the team. So myself, Rob, FPL Panda. I'll be handling the data side of things as well as holding on to the sim file. Yeah, so anything on the website, all the status updates, injury updates, transfer updates, plus all of the point scoring every game week. Yeah, I deal with all of that, but it sounds like it's a massive job. It's now not real. It's like a couple of hours a week, just to bash through it all. Whereas before it was hours and hours work. I've kind of got it well oiled, and it was. I think that's one of the reasons I'm back is because I just couldn't be asked to teach someone else how to do it, because it's a.
I know what you mean.
It would be quite a long job to teach someone else. Right, who else is on the team but not here? First up, Whitebeard FPL, or Tom. He'll be doing some work in the background. He said he'd maybe be able to pop in every now and again and help with a preview stream or whatever. But he's taking over Lordy Leroy, his job last year, which was taking the screenshots from the game and passing them and turning them into the raw data that I need to do my job. So Tom's also obviously going to be with a zombie team because he's going to know there's no way he can avoid seeing the screenshots because he will have to look at them all. So yeah, there'll be Tom as well, who we'll probably get him so we can reveal his zombie team for the season when the time comes. And finally on the team this season, so it's the creative team essentially for the game.
Nice one.
And that is Chris, or at Motley Barnetts, who will be assisting with the data side of things later in the week, with the data, we call it the data analysis. Plus he helps Andy with the Twitter account. If there's any DMs or anything like that, if we all have access to that Twitter account. If we see someone DM, then if we're just flicking through to see what's going on, then we obviously try to reply as soon as possible. But generally, Chris just double checks everything once a day just to quickly pick any up on any DMs. So yeah, if you don't receive a reply straight away from DMing the main account, don't worry. Chris or someone else will pick up your message at some point that day. So yeah, obviously don't flood the account with messages at deadline saying you've forgotten the deadline and you haven't picked your team. There's nothing we can do about that. But yeah, any general queries about the game, if there's a specific stat screenshot you want to see, yeah, DM us and we'll make sure to tweet it out. Yeah, anything like that, we won't just share it to you. We'll obviously make sure that the whole community has that access to that information, which is cool. And that's it. That's the team
Yeah.
for this season.
I mean, can I just mention about like how things work during the week for like any new players who
Yep.
are coming in thinking, how does it work week to week? Where do I go, kind of thing. So, if we start from say a Sunday, where we do like a preview stream / review stream, where we'd review Thursday night's action, but also preview the coming week. So I give you injury news, suspension news, fixtures, other results from different other cup competitions that can affect things. On a Sunday night, that's the preview stream. So do that. On a Monday, you're likely to get the leak. We like to have a leak because ChampMan can be quite chaotic at times, and teams will completely it's called rep 12, where they completely rotate the whole side, or they might rotate 6-7 players at a time. So we want to help you as much as we can by not making the game on Thursday night completely dead rubber for you, because if we didn't give you a leak, perhaps on a Thursday you might end up with 3 or 4 players playing. So on a
That's
Monday,
reminded me about a team member that we haven't mentioned yet.
We'll come to that.
Yeah.
We'll come to that. So on a Monday, good idea to look at the leak and where it comes from. Rob will mention who is it, where to look for the leak. Also on the main Twitter account, we'll kind of give you the news from Sunday night on tweet form, injury, suspensions, fixture changes if it happens, to keep you informed. Monday and Tuesday, you'll likely get pods from different sources. Look out on our channel for that, where you can keep up to date with information and guides to help you kind of pick your team, and where people kind of try and run sims to try and replicate how they think the game week's going to work, and so little bits like that to look out for. And then a Thursday night is where you need to lock your teams in an hour and a half before the deadline. You'll get team sheets an hour before it all kicks off, and then the stream will start half an hour before it all kicks off. And then every Thursday night, all 10 games are played together in one, and it's played out in real time. So you'll get 45 minutes of scores coming in, goal scorers, assists, maybe some other bits of information as well to see how you're getting on. Have a half time as normal, then another 45 minutes second half. And then at the end of the stream, you'll get kind of the results page and screenshots of how your team have performed, where the bonus points have been done. And then hopefully on the Thursday night, at the latest Friday morning, the website will be updated to give you ranks and points totals and so be it. So yeah, it's another good game to run alongside FPL that keeps you engaged during the week, which I think's a week like this week we're definitely missing. And then come next summer, when there's a big break of FPL, you'll have ChampMan to fill the void as well.
Yes, we'll have a long hot summer of ChampMan again. It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, the final member of the team who doesn't really go by any name. So I mean, I'll just call him Tony for now. And if you haven't followed him, you definitely should follow him, because we said goodbye to at CM Scout last year. He's retired off to Barnes. It's either Barnsley or Butlins. Apparently, he brokered the deal for Steve Staunton to join Villa, to go and join Barnsley last week. So, and there's a sponsorship deal with Butlins going down and all sorts. So, yeah, we've actually brought in a new member. We'll call him Tony, and that's at CM Scarface, who at some point, generally over a Monday, will give you some form of team leak or reveal or something. I'm not sure how nice he is yet, but he doesn't seem like the nicest person. He's been quite rude to the official account so far this season. He complained about the colours, didn't he?
Yeah, it's not nice to see that.
So yeah, I mean, we can't obviously tweet absurdities from the official account, but I wanted to that night.
It's not how you start a relationship, is it? Let's be honest.
No. So yeah, if you haven't followed, I think he's got like 450 followers. It needs to be at least the amount of followers for that account for players of the game, I think, in general. So yeah, if you're watching this and you haven't followed, follow. If you have a friend that plays and hasn't followed, get them to follow, etc., etc. FPL Hitman, Tony with an E, then fuck him. No, it's not Tony with an E. It's not a sort of 7-year-old Ivan Tony sitting there with a cigar. Right, so yeah, that's the team. Meet the team. There you go. Right, next job. Next topic is what is new. So what is new with this season? And there's quite a few things. Who wants to go first?
I'll say about the chips. What's new?
You want to go? Okay, so here we go, Andy. With what's new with the chips for this season?
I think I'm pretty excited that the chips. We've kind of trying to go away a bit more from FPL and our own spin on things. So one thing we've got rid of, and I don't think many people like it in FPL, is bench boost. There won't be a bench boost this season. We're going to keep the 2 free hits, which I think work well. 2 wild cards as normal. Triple captain. So all normal chips. These can be played at any time during the season as well. So you can have a free hit game week 2, game week 3 if you want it. So these chips are not limited to the first half of the season, second half of the season. They're chips for the whole season. And it's up to you guys when to play it. The one new exciting chip, which Disable came up with a name, it's called Get Your Baps Out. Which I think is a great name.
I'm not even sure if that is going to be the name on the site when it goes live, but it should be. We'll make sure it is.
It's got to be the name. So Get Your Baps Out. Yeah, Get Your Baps Out is the new chip. So this is
and the chip icon. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to look, but this is double points on bonus points. So you can decide when to do that, which I think is a good chip to have. I think it's better than bench boost. It's a bit more fun, a bit more random perhaps, but
it's something very CM centric, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you see the bonus points. There's so many. You could easily have 7, 8 of your team picking up bonus points just because of the number of 8s you get in a match, for example. Yeah. So being able to double that could be a pretty significant jump.
It's probably similar to a kind of like what's the one on the championship game? Is it like the home it's like a home advantage chip, like double points for your home players? Because I personally, I'd want to use that with all my players playing at home. It kind of gives them the best opportunity to achieve a good bonus score. I don't know. Yeah, excited about that chip. It'd be interesting to see what the strategies are going around it. I'm sure that it'll be well discussed on podcasts in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I'd like to see how that works. I mean, yeah. Do you pick good fixtures and try and predict who's going to get the bonus points in certain games? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's a good chip. I mean, the amount of bonus points can give out, I think it's a chip that can be utilised quite well.
Yeah, throw it out there. Oh, I think it's definitely a double game week chip.
Perhaps, yeah.
Or a triple game week chip, because we have them.
Yeah, we do.
We do have them. Right. Next up is the Matchday Experience. Because there's a few changes.
There are a few. Actually, I think probably on that note, should we go to the website next? Just because it's probably linked to the chip somewhat, wasn't it?
Okay. Yeah. So the website, we will not be on the website fantasychampman.com, but I believe there will be a divert from that URL to our new website. We are going to be, our new home is on gaffer.io. Most people will know that website, and the guy behind it that designed the website and everything, Sean, was over the last 18 months given a lot of time to us to he built our original website, and just to help him out a little bit, we're moving into the Gaffer website. So yeah, he's currently working his arse off to get that to happen. But and like I said, if you typed in fantasychampman.com, you should get diverted into gaffer.io. It will mean you'll have to re-register. What Sean is hoping to do at the moment, if you re-register when the time comes, we don't know when that will be. When you re-register, if you enter the exact same email as your old account on fantasychampman.com, we might be able to migrate your season history over. That's what he's working really hard to try and get your season histories over as well. So obviously it's a huge change, but we needed to do it to be able to continue, because the cost of running the standalone site by itself was a lot of money, and we'd like to be able to raise a bit more money for charity this year. So it kind of takes the pressure off paying to run the game and be able to do it for the reasons why we did it, and why the game happened in the first place was get some money rolling for charity, which we're undecided on what that will be at the moment. So yeah, that's the main thing. I think it will just be, I think at the moment where on the Gaffer website you have the little drop down at the top, and you select, at the moment it's either Gaffer or Super League. From the whenever the website launches, a third option will appear there, and it will be ChampMan. So there you go. That's where our new home is, which leads us on to the third part of what's new. Those that are, or fourth part of what's new. Those that are familiar with Gaffer will know that there's a slight difference to FPL with your captaincies, where you have a captain, a vice captain, and then you have something called an emergency captain. So we're going to incorporate that in as well, just because. So your captain scores double points, your vice captain scores 1.5 times points, and your emergency captain comes in as your captain if your captain doesn't play. Now, we know that at times in the first two seasons, a lot of people said that it had become very much a 10-man game, with a certain Dutch striker just dominating effective ownership throughout both seasons. So by adding that 1.5 times on the vice captain, it kind of takes that, like reduces that a little bit, because there's that vice captain choice then to be made. So yeah, and then there's the you've got that fallback as well. If there is a rep 12 and your captain doesn't play, you're not losing anything unless your emergency captain gets repped as well. Then yeah, so you should always have a captain. So just that generally make
You
things.
said should, or you said that, Rob. You should always
What
have a
should?
No, that's debatable.
You should always have a captain. I mean, if it, I don't know how often all of the main standout captaincy options all not play in a game week. It's extremely rare, unless there's a huge blank, which there could be. So yeah, that's the new thing. I've seen the chat going mental. I'm glad everyone seems to be happy about it. Yeah, it's a nice little thing that we could bring in quite easily coming over to the Gaffer site. So yeah, props to Sean for he's helped us out a lot. Yeah, I think last season the cost was about 600, 700 quid just to have that website there. Being able to, there still be that cost there, but we're obviously going to be sharing it with another game. So reducing the costs all around. So yeah, that's the other big major change there. And then we haven't gone through the other one. And then Chris is going to go through the Matchday Experience and what has changed. Has there been much change, Chris?
Well, with there only being 5 of us in the core team, so I guess that's probably something which so many of you in the chat will probably figured out. Just the size of the team before, and for those who are new to the game, is we had the match days would essentially run over Twitter, and that was the original idea that Andy, Dave, and James had, that we'd follow the commentary. It's similar game, follow the commentary and post it on Twitter. It was only when James Planet FPL jumped on, wanted to do Soccer Saturday style watch along, that it kind of turned into and sort of evolved into something which became a watch along on a Thursday night. Well, twice a week into season 1, and then on a Thursday night just last season. For that to happen, it needed a team of I think, how many were on comms last year? 6?
Yeah,
5,
6. 5. Probably a bit less. 5 or 6. Yeah.
Well,
there was four of us. So we rotated every 4 weeks.
Was there 4? Fine. Well, even in season 1, I know, Andy, you did a huge majority of them, certainly early on. The time it takes for somebody to manually, it's because it is manual. You have to go through the match report. You can look at a scoreline, you could make up your own commentary, but obviously ChampMan gives you the match report to tell you what's happened in a game. So for somebody to literally go through that for 10 games, to pick apart the highlights, to structure them in Twitter or through TweetDeck, where you can at least schedule the tweets so that they can come 1 minute after another, and halftime arrives at the right time, starts at the right time, that sort of thing, is a huge job. It's an absolutely huge job. And 38 game weeks into a season, when your time comes around, I'm sure you can relate, guys, that it just becomes, as much as you love the game, it can just become okay. Some of the guys, it's taken 6, 7, 8 hours to do. So that's something which, if we ever want the game to continue and want it to be sustainable, we've kind of had to find a way to reduce that time down, that physical sort of time, in terms of actually doing something to make the game work. So this is something we've thought really sort of long and hard about. And for those of you who played last season and completed the survey, huge thank you. There were, I've gone.
You're back.
It's fine.
For those who played last season and completed the survey, thank you. We had well over 200 responses to that. So thank you all. And it really helped with kind of making these decisions and validating it. So one of the things that we saw on the survey for the active players, in terms of the number of people who interacted with the game on match day on a Thursday, it's something like 80% of people would watch, active players would watch the live stream. So on a Thursday, we'd go on YouTube and watch. So last year, watch Mode, watch Irons, stumble along for 2 hours with me with the technical issues. So you stayed through it, so thank you. But that is essentially where we're going to be focusing the match day commentary. So whilst we're aiming to have things like goal alerts, halftime scores and things like that on Twitter, lineups, some of the full-time stats potentially. We're not going to be running minute by minute match day commentary on Twitter. That is instead going to be done on the YouTube stream. Now, the way it's going to be done on the YouTube stream is going to be something which I've had a real play around with and managed to get working really well, where essentially I've found a tool which can grab the match report, and I can kind of select an area of the match report, put it into a sheet, and get it into the graphics program that I use, Singular. So that's essentially what I do. When I'm behind the scenes, I'm clicking buttons that say, it's a goal. I'm updating the scores, updating the ticker and the video printer, that sort of thing. But with this tool, I can physically bring the match report as it appears in ChampMan into the stream and actually have it tick along. It's like every couple of seconds. So you should be able to see the build up to each event, goals. It will look like a normal goal, then it get disallowed. I think it will create quite a bit of drama. So I'm really excited to see how it actually sort of works within the game. Most importantly, it means that it reduces that 6 to 8 hours a week for somebody to do it. I ran a test last week, and it took about half an hour, 45 minutes to pull in everything I need to do for a single game week, which is super manageable. For me anyway. So I think that for the longevity of the game, and for us to actually be able to, I guess, have a season this year, being able to find a way to bring that commentary into the stream, and make that the real sort of core part of Thursday night, was a big barrier we had to overcome.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. I mean, it might be who knows? It might be better. It might be worse. We don't know. I'm hoping it will be a lot better, because essentially you're not just following along on Twitter.
I'm out.
You're not sold, Rob. You're not sold. I showed you.
No. I have seen it, and it does look fantastic. I know you've been really, really sort of grinding away to sort of make it look as good as it possibly can. And I was impressed with your first few drafts of it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that final little test that we'll obviously do, just to make sure that we can produce everything to the timescales we want, etc. And that the match day experience, that it's as good as it can be for you guys, because at the end of the day, it's not. I think the point scoring stuff and all of that's like half the fun, isn't it? The rest of the fun is on a match day, everyone getting together and just having a good crack for a couple of hours. So yeah, we obviously want that to be perfect for you guys.
Definitely.
I'm not about the crack. I'm about the winning the game. So I'm taking it very seriously.
Well, it's just we're just here for the crack anyway.
So anyway, we're doing.
Yeah, I'll enjoy the crack, but deep down, I'm going to win it. So that's.
Just mention, so
Andy firing shots.
Anurag in the chat just mentioned how would it work with multiple games. So the idea is that essentially, if 3 games have got a highlight in the 3rd minute, it will be, time will continue in real time. So kickoff will be kickoff, and 45 minutes is half time. So whatever the highlights are within each game, within all of the games, CM's good at dishing out some there's a lot of filler in there where there'll be a build up and then the ball will just go out of play. we won't include things like that. But if it's a tense game, if it's a title decider, if there's a lot on the line, then yeah, we can include a lot more. And if there's dull games, It'll be a bit like what you saw last year on Twitter, where you might get one update in a half, so nothing would have changed in that sense. So we can it can be super flexible, and that's
I mean, it also means like we were very with the Twitter comms. We had to be very sort of rigid with the timings of like we could only schedule a tweet once every minute, so you're limited by that, which then but this is completely takes that away because we'll be able to just like have it all through, and like you said, we'll still have the goal alerts going out on Twitter, so like if you can't make the stream but you want to just keep an eye on what's going on, like with real FPL, the goal alerts come in just to tell you that, but there won't be like an endless description behind it. It will just be goal so and so, assist so and so, and then the like updated score at the bottom. So yeah, and like obviously we will still be scheduling that in ahead. Like if there's 4 goals all in the 3rd minute, Chris will know what order they're going to appear on the thing. They'll come in. The goal alerts will come like in the 4th minute, the 5th minute, 6th minute, and the 7th minute. Because that's what would happen in real life. Like there'd always be that little delay as the person that's typing up the tweets for Fantasy Premier League's Twitter account. There's always that little delay because they're still writing the last tweet. So
yeah, definitely. We want the first place for the goal to be seen or heard to be on the stream.
Yeah.
And
I mean, with double game weeks and triple game weeks, if they happen, we'll probably see how we're doing as and when. It might be that the double game weeks that happen late in the summer, we might be able to go right. We could effectively, like, we'd have had some time to work out how long it's taking us to produce everything. But like a game week 35 double or whatever that happens in July, we might be able to turn around and go, well, we'll do half the game week on the Thursday, and we'll do the double part of the game week on the Saturday night. Or we might have the flexibility to do another show on the Friday night, just to keep it as compact as possible. Because that's one of the other great things about it is that the double game weeks and the triple game weeks, you're not waiting 10 days for your game week to finish. It's all bish bash bosh. So we'll probably come to it as and when it happens.
Definitely. And I guess just in terms of obviously the overall plans with hosts, so a few people mentioned it already. So again, to try and just widen or reduce the commitment, I guess, and the workload of 1-2 people, what we're going to do, and nothing's been properly finalized yet, but the idea is we want to have a pool of hosts and sort of a pool of pundits to call upon for the streams, so that there isn't just one person or 2 people, like I say, who have to commit every week. And yeah, hopefully means that there isn't that kind of you don't get burnt. The guys don't get burnt out after halfway through the season, 3/4 of the way through the season. So yeah, could be different faces each week, but the idea is that there'll be, I guess, a core group, and yeah, we'll obviously prep and plan beforehand so you know who it's going to be, and yeah, so basically different faces each week.
I mean,
so again, that should be cool.
It's basically what the One Show have gone to. They used to have
Let's go with that.
set hosts, but now they're switching between Ronan Keating and Alex Scott and stuff. So
yeah, should keep it nice and fresh every week. Different face to see, different view on how their season's going, etc., etc. So they'll be in that blank time where there might not be anything going on, which inevitably there'll be 10-15 minutes at a time of there not being much going on. They can tell you about how they're getting on. And obviously, the guys last year, they even like were open up. Like you could ask them questions about standard FPL, about Gaffer, or whatever, going on at the same time. So yeah, it's good to have that freshness and those views. Which brings us to the final bit, which was what we have thought, which would be quite fun, is that the manager of the month every month. So the first manager of the month will be announced after game week 4, and they will be invited to be the pundit on the stream in game week 5, because obviously they're better at the game than anyone else at that moment. So who better to have as a pundit than the best player around at that moment in time? So yeah, that's a nice little prize, as it were, for the manager of the month. You can have your 5 minutes of fame or 2 hours of fame, or 2 hours in the spotlight if you want it. We're not obviously gonna like come to your house and stick a camera in your face and tell you will do it. Yeah, so like if you don't want to, then we'll say to the person that came second, look, do you fancy doing it, etc. And if no one wants to do it at all, then Andy will do it.
It might be that we give the option to be like do the match day pundit or the game week review. Said it might be a little bit less savage.
Yeah, I've just been manager of the month, and then like their whole team just goes to tit. It could end up being a curse on whoever the person is that comes on that following week. Which would be amusing. Be very ChampMan that something like that would happen. Right. What's next? Next up is
deadline.
The deadline, the news everyone's waiting for.
And also got the price.
Waiting for the price reveal, really. Yeah, everyone wants that price reveal. Right. So the game week. Well, it's not the game week 1 deadline. It's the game week 1 date. Who wants to say it?
I'm not 100% sure on it, so I'm going to leave it to you.
I just brought my calendar up to double check.
I mean, I'll say it. It's like the 6th of January. Is that right?
Correct, Andrew. You've scored 100 points to start your season off with.
Is that how it works? That's great.
I knew that. I could have just said.
Yeah, I should have just said it. Yes, game week 1 will be Thursday, the 6th of January, which also happens to be FA Cup weekend that weekend. So you'd be able to switch off from FPL for a little bit. I think it's that weekend is FA Cup.
Yeah,
I've always got it horribly wrong. And I mean, through January, there's only like 2 or 3 FPL game weeks, so it made sense to get it kicked off in January. Then it means we're not starting the game off like if we started it now. We're then going into a period of 4 weeks where there's like 9 or 10 game weeks for FPL. It becomes a bit of a minefield for everyone. So at least then you can hopefully be able to tinker with your teams, etc., through Christmas, and then be able to come into January nice and fresh. Everyone can make their New Year resolution of winning ChampMan. That'll be Andy Martin's New Year resolution.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other good thing about waiting to January as well, because it means the season lasts until the international breaks next season for FPL.
I think the game week 38 date, as it stands, would be something like the 22nd of September.
Yeah. Okay, so might have at least one international break.
Yeah. So yeah, and then all through. Obviously, it's all through the summer. We obviously had 6 weeks between the end of ChampMan, or 4 weeks between the end of ChampMan and the new FPL season last summer. So yeah, we're going to be going through all the way through the summer, which is going to be amazing. And who knows, we might drop sort of a back-to-back game week somewhere in the summer, if the time is there for us able to be able to put it together, because we did try it once last season and it was hard work to get it done and to do it. But without the comms there, and of having a few months to be able to assess everything, we may be able to have a couple of back-to-back weeks in there just to ease people through the summer, which will be good fun. Remember to get those questions in, guys, if there's any questions. And finally, our price reveal of our England international that plies his trade in Manchester. Mr. Andy Martin will give us that if he can remember it.
So
this is when you say, I can't remember. See you later, guys.
I can definitely remember, and this is a big one, guys. So the first price reveal of season 3 ChampMan will be Steve Howie is a 4.5 million defender.
There you go. Big news.
So start your pods.
We've given you chips. We've given you a game week 1, and we've given you a price. You should be able to work out every other player's price through Steve Howie.
Yeah, I want to see some maths calculations behind the Steve Howie and how you think Ruud van Nistelooy is going to be priced. Now you know that Steve Howie's 4.5.
I mean, there will be price reveals. They will come in time. Obviously, that's one of the biggest jobs, other than what Chris is doing. That's probably the other big job of pre-season. We're still tweaking. We're still working with them. They'll come within like the next 10 days or so.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. But I mean, we can say that over the course of next week, because we know that there is a lot of people that like to try and build their sim. We've been contacted by a few people that trying to build their sims, and one of the things that's helpful to have is the manager stats. This week we're going to be doing a little meet the manager with 4 managers and their stats being posted each day. At least 19 of them are worth meeting. So that's coming up this week. Oh, and Andy's gone.
He's gone. Just a mention of that manager.
The mention of that manager.
Physically vomited,
Andy
I
out.
think.
Right.
He's actually gone. Okay. Do we know when the website's going live?
At the moment, we cannot give you a specific date or time of the website going live. As I said before, Sean's working hard on amalgamating it into the Gaffer website. We obviously have a date in mind, but we don't want to give you that date to then get to that date and you lot be DMing us and going, where's the website? Why is it not there? I can't see it. I'm trying to find it. I can't see it. So we're not going to give you that date because we want to make sure that Sean has all the time that he needs to make that happen. But you will have plenty of time to tinker with your teams. As I said, you'll be able to tinker with your teams through Christmas. So that gives you a 2-week window, 3-week window. And it'll be before that, hopefully. unless it all goes tits up. But everyone will know that because Gaffer will just go offline. So yeah, that's the website. What other questions? Did we have any else?
I feel Richie's put a beard question to Andy, but he's dropped off.
He's dropped off. Craig, Howie won't even start. Well, how do you know that? Half the City squad might leave, and then Howie plays.
Andy's back. I'm going to have
Andy's back.
I'm going to have to do my.
Yep, can hear you now. Questions. I could ask you this, Andy, and you can relay it to me just in. And I'll relay it on just in case people can't hear you.
I need to add Andy back in. So hang on.
Oh, he's disappeared again. Oh, he's there. Andy, can you hear me? You can hear. Yeah. Yes. There will be free previews leading up to game week 1 is another thing. We'll obviously do a run through of the teams. I think it's like Arsenal to Leeds or Man City or something like that. And then in one preview, we'll do a second preview of the second half of the league, just going through the ins and outs of each team. And then we'll do a final, like proper full-on game week 1 preview, where we'll go through any sort of last minute dilemmas, etc. We'll reveal some zombie teams that the team have made, and just go through any last minute questions. Now Andy's back. Andy from FPL Richie, does Andy use a specialist beard oil, or is he naturally groomed to perfection?
This is all natural, guys. I don't do anything at all. I barely wash. So it just grows
Just
as it is.
in general.
Nothing special. Just I want to thank my parents and my grandparents for the lovely genes.
Collins just said, pretty sure first game week is 7th of January. It's the 6th of January, Thursday the 6th of January. Although, if you're in a different time zone, it could be the 7th of January. I'm not sure. Isn't that cheating if they've come from the future to play?
Definitely, yes.
If it's the 7th of January there, they'll know all the scores. So it's the 6th of January. Although I think on your own, so when you load up the website, it will give you the deadline time in your time zone, etc. So, and then the game week kickoff will obviously be an hour and a half after that. Fancy connection. Does Joe Kinnear still have a job? Yes, he does. There you go. Rob Butler, who got the promote from the Championship? We've rewind, but it's Commentary, Bradford, and
Norwich.
Strong Tea, please could we have new chips more like Gaffer than the sand? Rewind, go start from the beginning. You'll get to the chips part.
Just going back to the chips, I think we did discuss more chips like Gaffer, but I didn't want to make. I felt that Gaffer's quite chaotic, personally. So I think we wanted to get a nice medium between FPL and Gaffer. So I think that's quite a good thing we've settled on.
Yeah, I mean, because the game is naturally quite it's chaotic anyway, with the fixture chaos. And if you have lots of chips and you're the type of person that likes to plan out your chips and everything, like there's already enough there that you could lose the will to live. Like if suddenly you planned everything out for 8 or 9 different chips, and then all the fixture carnage happens, then piss everyone off. So just those 6 chips, and the plus the fixture carnage should be enough. FPL Bernie Mac, can you reveal the game week 1 host? No, because we don't know who they are. Fancy Football Social, who are the hosts? We don't know who they are. We said that about 10 minutes ago. Connection, we don't know. Nobody really knows.
But no. We do have an inkling, right?
Yeah. We've obviously.
We just don't want to reveal it. We
want to make sure that we finalised everything, and like we're obviously still in chatting to people. We're in contract talks with people. It's a lot of negotiation. We spoke to Jeff Stelling. We know that he's leaving Soccer Saturday, so we're trying to get him to come and cameo for the summer, which would be incredible. But yeah, he's tough. He's a tough guy to deal with. So yeah.
I mean, and Des Lynham said he'll get back to us as well.
Yeah, but didn't he say that before season 2? He just still hasn't got back to us. Greg Warren hosting when? I think
Devastating.
I think he's still busy at Charlton at the moment.
Be
FPL
sad. We're not going to
Hitman,
see. We're not going to see him this year. We're not going to see Greg Warren.
who was
this year.
holding the sim till now, so I know who tinkled with it and who to blame. The bad rank I will have this season. So, just to be transparent with it, the sim was simmed up to a point with Luke and Andy on the end of season stream. That sim was given to myself and Chris at that date that you all saw on the end of season stream. The sim has been simmed up to the game week 1 deadline, just so that we've now got all of that data. We can get absolutely everything built for the website, get all the fixtures all sorted and all of that jazz. Because there's lots of fixture news that will be coming in the next couple of weeks or so. So that's who's had the sim and who's been working with the sim. Since it was given to me and Chris are the only people that have had the sim, and are the only people that are gonna have the sim. So there's no worries about that. Richie might have missed this, but reminder, fuck off. Two people have replied to you.
Language. Whoa.
The family show, Rob. Come on.
It's a family show. We're past the watershed now.
Yeah, dear me.
Right. I think
good?
that's a wrap, isn't it? Until next time. So those that are, as Andy said, those that have got podcasts, go forth and record your podcasts, and give us all of. We just want you guys to speculate on all the prices, because then that will mean that we can then steal all the prices off of you guys as you're chatting about them. That's what we really want to do. Not undecided or anything, we just haven't done it. Lee Hughes is at Coventry on the game. I think so, maybe.
Yeah, he is there.
I've definitely seen his name kicking about. Right.
We good?
Who pods on CM? Good question, Glasto. You have got he's not no longer called is it FF Deacon? He's changed his name. You might change it back. I think it's FF Deacon.
I think
now.
we'll put a tweet out this evening. I think we'll get the 4 accounts to follow for the podcast. It's Man on FPL, Season Keepers, Deacon. I think it's FF Deacon. And then is that it? Maybe.
Yeah, because
Martin,
CM Fantasy and Craig, they're part of Man On now. So yeah, they're the guys to follow for their content that they'll be producing in the coming weeks. I'm sure they'll all have lots to say about what's going on and lots to speculate on. Cool.
Nice one.
Yeah, and
Right.
so I'm hoping, Chris, you'll get the. Will we reveal any graphics on the preview streams, or we have to wait for game week 1?
No, I think I kind of want to. It'd be good to gauge some feedback and stuff beforehand as well. So I think doesn't need to be kept under wraps too much, does it? I want to try and encourage people to come along. So yeah, we'll when we get closer and when it's definitely working, we'll get it out there. And yeah, hopefully bring some more along on Thursday nights.
Yeah. Cool. Well, cheers, guys. Cheers, Andy. Cheers, Chris. Cheers to all of you that have joined us in the chat. You've been going crazy this evening. I haven't been able to properly follow it. It's just moving too quick, and I haven't got my glasses on. So yeah, cheers to everyone that has joined us in the chat live. Cheers to everyone that has been liking and retweeting all the tweets going out over the last 10 days or so. You're the guys that make this game what it is, and I think just seeing when we dropped the profile picture last week, just seeing the responses and reading through all the replies and everything to it, it was it was good to see that the love is there, and it kind of got us all really buzzing for new season. So yeah, thanks so much to all you guys, the ChampMan FPL community. There's no community on Twitter like it, really. It's the best one out there by a long way.
Can I just say as well, if you've got any questions, don't feel silly or stupid about asking any questions. Just tweet the official account for ChampMan. We'll get back to you, whether it's a few days, but we'll get back to you. Any questions at all, anything you want to know, we'll aim to get back to you. So anything you want to know about the game, it's not necessarily about price or anything like that. It's whether, like, how you want to know how the game works, how things are worked out, that kind of things. Just drop us a message and we'll answer questions that you have. So
yeah, there is an FAQs file kicking about somewhere, which will just get updated with the new stuff. We'll get that file shared out as well, so that there's some documentation for people that like to read that sort of thing. And for you new guys, it might be worth having a good read through it. So it will just have the rules and everything, but I'm sure the podcast will also cover it as well. But yeah, thanks for everyone for joining in, and we shall see you. Well, next time we'll see you is probably for the team previews prior to game week 1. So yeah, we shall see you again. We shall see you again. Have a good rest of the weekend. Cheers.
Thanks everyone.
cheers.
Cheers. Bye.